What's up guys, Will DTV here today, and today we're going to be looking at replacing the turn signal switch. This is also your light switch if you guys have problems. So if you have problems with your lights and you think it's the switch, you can go ahead and replace it. This will be the same thing. And we're going to try and do this as cheaply as possible, which might bite me in the butt, but it's okay. So the way to know if your switch is broken is if you could see one of my blinkers is working. I'm going to turn off my AC so it sounds better in here. But my left one is making the noise but not working. And if I go outside, it's still on if you can hear it. The rear blinker isn't working. And the front blinker isn't working, which is kind of weird that both went out at the same time, but that's a pretty good way to know if it's a fuse or if it's your blinker switch. So normally both bulbs wouldn't go out at the same time, so that means it's probably a switch. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to show you how to remove one from the pull and save to save money and test and see if it works on your car. So we're going to go, and I will see you guys there. Another thing I would like to include is that if you feel like this is an impossible job, don't think that, because it literally only requires a flathead screwdriver and a Phillips head screwdriver. All you need to do is get something to pop this piece off, and then you need to unscrew this when you get it out. But another way to tell that this is not a fuse problem or a bulb problem is if it works if you use the blinker in a certain thing. So remember, like I said, the left blinker doesn't work when I push it down, but if I pull it down ever so softly like this, it should work. See? It's not down all the way. I'm holding it in a specific way. That's how you know it's the switch. The right side works. The left side doesn't work. But if I hold it a certain way, it will work. I'd also like to include the fact that you don't have to go to the pull and save in order to save the money and get this for cheap. You could just buy it online. It's about 35 to 40 bucks. So if you don't have a pull and save near you, it may be in your best interest to get it online. Plus there's the chance that it might not work if you get it from the pull and save. So with all that out of the way, we are officially here at the Denver Pull and Pay. I know you guys can't see it, but we're officially here, and I'm going to show you how to get your turn signal switch. Alright, so we found the imports, and right here we have a 2001 Toyota Camry. The same generation of your car will work as long as it's within the same generation. So if you have a 2000 like I do, 1997 to 2001 would work. We're just going to hop in. It's actually really clean. For being on this lot, there's so many parts in here. I might consider taking some other parts. It's also ridiculously hot, but that's cool because we're not going to be in here for very long. So the first thing you want to do is get out a flathead, if I can find mine, and you just want to pop this. You want to unscrew these right here. Get a better view for you guys. I'm going to try and pry open this door so I can get some fresh air because it's super hot. Give me 1 sec. Alright, so with that propped up, I have some fresh air so I can actually breathe in there. But if you can find a car as good as this one at your pull and save, I would get as many parts as you can from it. But what we're going to do is take out these screws, get the bottom piece off. It doesn't need to be in perfect condition, and unfortunately we can't reach the bottom one, so we're just going to have to snap this one. So all you had to do was pop this under these, and then you can pop the top off. We still need to get access to the bottom. So right now I'm looking for a tutorial video on how to get to the screw without with the steering wheel being locked, because you can't seem to get it, but I might just cut it at this point because it's not that big of a deal to me. So yeah, I'll let you guys know what I do and show you how I get to it. But as you can see, the top screw is exposed and I still need to get to the bottom one. So give me 1 second and I'll show you how to do it. Alright, so if you look underneath, there's a bolt that you can pull out, or screw out, I guess. It looks like this, and it's right underneath. And what it does is it lets you yank this down enough to access it. So now we're going to go ahead and get this part out. Make sure it looks the same as yours. In my case, it feels and looks just like mine, so we're going to go ahead and get it out. You're going to need a Phillips head for this. You're going to have to access it like this. It's kind of hard with the camera. But you're just going to pull these 2 bolts out, and then I'll show you what to do next. Remove the screws. This should just pull right out. No problem. We're going to have to find a way to move this out of the way again, and we just slid it right off. Easy. So now you just pull this out. And then you have to unclip it from right here, which I will do right now. And then all you have to do is pull this out of this, and you can get it disconnected. Make sure the part looks good. Make sure all the teeth look good. And it looks good to me, so we're going to go ahead and buy this piece. So I paid $14 for the exact same part. Now we just got to make sure it works. I did get a receipt in case I need to return it. But here's the thing. One of these costs half of what it costs on eBay for a used one of these, and the one on eBay has just as bad of a chance as not working. On 1A Auto, I believe it's $40, and at Napa and AutoZone, it's between $70 and $100. So if this part works, we saved so much money doing it this way. And if the process for removing it inside the yard was confusing, don't worry. I'm going to be obviously taking this one out, which will be in a car that works, and the steering wheel works, but there's always ways around it. Like I said, usually you're supposed to remove that bolt right there, and that bolt right there, and the bolt underneath. But because I couldn't access this bolt right here, I had to snap the inside. Obviously you can if your wheel turns, but the wheel didn't turn on that car. So yeah, I mean, if it's a car at a pull and save, it doesn't really matter if you break it a tiny bit. I didn't break it though. I just removed the pieces, and I was rough with it, but I won't be rough with it. So you'll have a way better understanding when we get inside. But you want to just double check and make sure all the pieces click and they turn. You can see right there. And I can't do that while holding the camera, but I did definitely check. Yeah, they click, they turn, everything works. And yeah, we're going to make sure that it works at home, and I'm going to install it and show you how to install this piece. So I will show you guys when I get home. Alright, we're back home. This is how we're going to start it. It's going to be pretty simple. We're going to go ahead and remove this first screw right here. You want to hold your steering wheel so you can get it out. Make sure you don't lose any of these. I'm putting mine in my cup holder to keep them nice and safe. And that one's out. And of course, do the other side. And my car is on, but it won't be on for long. It's only on right now, so I can remove this bottom piece. And then we're actually going to go and disconnect the battery so nothing wrong happens with the electronics. I probably should have gotten a different screw because this one's stripped, but I didn't know it was stripped. And then lastly, of course, we're going to be going underneath. But as you can see, we have that one taken out. Ignore my hairy legs. And that one taken out. So now we're going underneath. This is a tutorial on what to do. Oh crap, I just dropped my screwdriver. There's a tutorial on what to do and removing it as well. This is probably a better version now that I know what to do. And then you need to get this one right here, so. Alright, we got that bad boy unscrewed. So next you just want to pop this in here and try and pop this out. Oh, don't want to knock over the camera, that'd be bad. Alright, so you just want to try and pop this out right here. If you're worried about scratching your interior, you can put duct tape on the end of this or get a trim remover. But I don't really care that much about my car. It's a daily driver. I beat on this thing. I do care that the blinker works though because it's against the law. So that's why we're replacing that. And it looks like this came loose. So we can start pulling this. And then it should come loose from the other side. And then all you gotta do is pull the bottom piece out. And they should come out together. Let me make sure that's on camera. Yep, cool. Make sure it's still recording. Yep, cool. Alright, and then it should just come loose like that. And now we're not even going to worry about, yeah we are, we're going to take this off while we still can. So you just got to slide this around until you can get it off. We're actually going to move this up. And then there's a little lever that you have to work around over here. Let me bring it over. A little lever that you got to work around. But just kind of shimmy it out until you can get it out. And just kind of got to work around it. I don't remember exactly how I got it out. Hold on just a second. Let me move over here. I don't remember exactly how I got it out last time. As you can tell, it's not the most professional tutorial there is in the world, but we're still gonna get it done, folks. This video is still gonna turn out good. Okay, so now we're gonna disconnect the battery. That's the next thing we gotta do. Messing around with it for a little bit, I found out that there's a clip right here that you can just pull right off. So that, I would have saved a lot of time if I would have done a little bit more research, but that's okay. I'm doing all the research so you guys don't have to. And just like that, the bottom part comes off. So lastly, well, not lastly, but next, finally rather, I'm just gonna, damn it, I just dropped the piece. Well, don't do that. That's not part of the tutorial, obviously, but we're gonna go ahead and put this bad boy over here with the piece. And then you want to disconnect this. This can be kind of a pain in the butt, just depending on how your car is, how old it is. Well, it just came right off. All right, we're almost done then. Next, you want to grab a Phillips head. Again, this is the same process to remove it that we did. Add to the pull and save, except we were less careful because we weren't planning on putting it back together. So then we're going to go ahead and zoom out a little bit. There we go. Then you just want to do this. And with both screws removed, this thing just pulls right out, just like that. Super easy. Now, here's our old one. We're going to put it with our old stuff, and we're going to install this new one. If you don't have a mark on yours, try and make sure you don't reinstall the old one, because I've definitely done that before with other parts. And it just clips right in, so you know it's the right size. And what you want to do is reinstall the screws, just like that. And then the last thing you need to do before we test it out is just put this clip in, and it goes right in. So now we're going to go connect the battery again and make sure it works before we put all that other stuff on. All right, the battery's in. We're gonna start the car up. All right, moment of truth. Let's see if this works. Let me disconnect my phone from the tripod so I can bring it close enough. And right blinker works. And left blinker works perfectly. No problems whatsoever. And that is how you replace a blinker for dirt cheap. All right. Napa Auto Parts wanted $90 for this part that works perfectly fine that we got for $14. It was like $13.50, but still, it works perfectly fine. So now all that's left to do is to put these pieces back on, and we'll take it for a test drive. That we've got it installed, we're gonna drive around and make sure it works, because the left blinker didn't work. So starting off, just gonna drive around the block. Perfect. Blinker's working again. No cars are coming. Let's turn again. Still going. One more left turn. And then we're gonna park it and go around and see if it's working. So we're gonna walk around the car and make sure that the lights are working to prove that it wasn't the bulb and that it was just the switch. All right, so it's in park. I'm gonna walk around now. You can see the back one is flashing. If we go to the front one is also flashing. So that is how you replace a blinker switch in a 2000 Toyota Camry. This will work from 1997 to 2001. And the process is very similar for almost every car. Go to the pull and save, find a car that has a good looking one that's the same generation as yours, and pick it up. And you will always get a better deal than buying online. Thank you guys so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you want more tutorials on cars in general. And see you guys next time. Peace out.